Hello everyone, I am Janina, your host, and welcome to sTUdio, our sincere TaskUs discussion and insightful opinions. Today, we'll give you a taste of our ridiculously good culture and talk about TaskUs and the BPO industry as a whole. May it be discussions or tips on how to start your BPO journey or to level up your growing career. We have them here for you. So just sit back, relax, and get comfortable only here in sTUdio. To start, TaskUs is a fairly new outsourcer here in Cali. We launched here back in March of 2021 in a full 100% work from home setup. Yes, TaskUs started in Colombia in the middle of the pandemic. And so fast forward to 2022, we now have our own office, which you can see, where we are today at the arena. TaskUs chose Cali, Colombia's third largest city, because of the culture and hospitality of Caleños, and because we have highly educated bilingual talents here. And speaking of bilingualism, there is so much opportunity for professional development, especially in the BPO industry, because of English. So for our first episode, let's discuss how you can grow at TaskUs and what are the things that make us a ridiculously good place for your career journey. We have here with us Jaime Vivas, our communications trainer, and Jameli Simancas, our subject matter expert. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
How long have you been here in TaskUs and how's the experience so far?
I started working here back in May 2021 and it's been great. It's probably the best teaching job I've had in my life. I really love it.
How long have you been a teacher?
For 15 years now.
Wow. And you have been working on the BPO sector before or just?
Yes, on and off. I have had probably 7 years of experience altogether.
That's awesome. What about you, Jamali?
I've been here in TaskUs since February this year.
How do you hear about TaskUs?
I hear about TaskUs with Invest Pacific, a job fair. I saw Beatriz in there and she was speaking so much, talking about TaskUs and all the energy and the enthusiasm that she has about the company. It got my attention. I thought, I need to work for that company. And she was really right about all the that she was speaking at that moment. So far has been great for me. I love the experience, my teammates, my colleagues in here, the site. I love the arena, it has been wonderful.
Can you tell us your role in TaskUs and a brief summary of what you do?
Well, my main role here is training people who didn't pass the screening process to get hired, whether it was because of soft skills or lack of English. And I'm also in charge of assessing either candidates that are for hires or teammates that need to be moved to a different campaign. So I'm the one that certifies their current English level.
Okay, that's awesome, because one thing that I know from TaskUs is that you don't have to have your English certificate to get in.
No, you don't have to. So you don't have to take a test or something official. We do it for you. We interview you, we test you, and we make sure that you know what level you have, and we find the perfect spot for you.
That's awesome, because you can save some money.
Oh yeah, of course.
The certificate. Thank you, Jaime. What about you?
I started as a teammate and now a part as a being teammate and also helping new trainees and new hires on products and soft skills training as a subject matter expert.
What are the challenges you encounter or you think you might encounter in the future to achieve your career goals?
For me, it's my first company that is 100% English. I grown up in Spanish, but I'm like middle school in English. So I'm keeping learning and I'm keeping studying in English the words, the phrases, what are important for me. So it is a continuous journey of learning. I mean, keep it up, not just let it like that.
Okay, in my case, I believe that the first obstacle to achieving, whatever goal you have is you. Okay, it's yourself. So I think that in my case, it'll be a process of learning more about operations, because that's not my forte. So I think that getting more familiar with the products in general and what goes on, on the side of operations.
Yeah, for example, I don't have a background in BPO. and something awesome in this industry is that you have an opportunity even though you don't have experience in the BPO sector. You are here to learn. Can you give example, personal experience in the past related to the use of English being a challenge to you?
Oh yes, of course. Last year my English was not good enough. I have the knowledge but not the fluency. I put a lot of efforts to speak because I was so afraid to make mistakes. Near my house there is a lot of hotels and where there is a lot of tourists that they were asking about directions. I was like, how can I say that in the corner is the place that they are looking for? And after the opportunity that was given to me by TaskUs, I'm proud of myself of how I became, and that every day I can learn something in here and helping others by believing in myself.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Javelin. That's awesome. According to data consolidated by Invest Pacific, the percentage of Caleños with B1 level English or higher has grown in the last decade, going from 4% of high school graduates in 2009 to almost 15% in 2019. This means that the city has an annual output of almost 4,000 bilingual speakers, also one of the reasons why TaskUs chose to be in Cali. It is also estimated that over 7,000 or 36% of bilingual high school graduates in 2019 had an English proficiency level of B1 or higher. But what do we mean by B1 level English proficiency? Are there other levels too?
Yes, there are 6 levels under the Common European Framework of Reference: A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2.
What can you say about the English skills of Colombians in general, since we are here all Colombian in a 100% English job?
In general, I would say that first, it would be unfair to say that we're far, from becoming a bilingual country. I mean, we still have a long way to go. And if I check, in my experience in the past 15 years, there has been a difference. I am lucky to say I'm a C2, but because I decided to be one. When I came back from the United States, I was barely a B2. I think I wasn't even a B2 back then. And I started reading so much about grammar and learning and training myself because I just didn't have anyone to guide me. And then when I started working as a teacher, I realized that the tools were there, how to use them. So I've been trying to encourage people to do the same for themselves. If you don't have the money or the resources to pay for a course and improve your English, then do it on your own. You have the internet. It's basically free. Just give it a shot. But I think that we need to take a step up in English and become like, the Philippines and other countries that are so close to being entirely bilingual. It's amazing, how much progress they have had. And I think we should start copying what they have done. But I think people have realized how important English is. So I think that these young new generations are taking matters into their own hands, learning on their own through music, video games, all the social media platforms. So I think it's improving.
Yeah, for sure. I was really bad at English at school. And then I had the opportunity to go to college in the United States. And then I didn't take a course called English as a foreign language. It was called English as a second language. So I was struggling with studying political science in English with all the different terms, and also having class with people all around the world. And the only way to communicate was in English. So I was really pushed to study, to make some efforts, because I was living in San Francisco. Of course, there is a lot of Latino community, but school, everything was in English. So I improved my English, and then when I graduated, knowing English back in 2014, it was a plus in your resume. But right now, it is a necessity.
Yeah, right now,
exactly.
Pretty much, yes.
And I really believe that the BPO sector arriving in Cali, in our city, and especially in the region, is going to move the bilingual programs to go forward and make more Caleños bilingual, because the industry is growing in our region and we have the need for more and more bilingual talent.
Yes, and I think, as I told you, I think people should be more conscious of what the industry is demanding.
Exactly. Yeah. In TaskUs, do we also apply the English proficiency levels?
Yes, that depends on the vendor. They request candidates to be either B1, B1 plus, or B2 or higher, depending on who their target is, who they're going to be speaking with. So there are levels of, say, proficiency that they require. So that's how we segment our, candidates into different campaigns based on their English level. So we do have to apply that.
Why it is important for employees and applicants to know how to speak and write in English?
That's our job. I mean, that's what we do all day, every day. So our clients are from English-speaking countries, and we communicate in English. So whether it is through voice or written messages, it can be text messages or emails, you're interacting with English all the time.
Also, the English language is a global language that is important not just in communicating with each other, but also in bridging gaps between countries and cultures.
What I always tell my students and every candidate and every person that asks me about how important English is, I tell them, okay, think about finance, technology, communications in general. All the most relevant, most important, freshest, and most advanced information that you can get online, it's in English. From there, then they can translate it into anything else. But all the skills that they learn training with us, working with us, are transferable. If eventually you want to open your own company, if you want to study some career or probably work somewhere else, you can take all of these tools and take them there. I always tell them the way you present yourself, the way you communicate things, no matter what your profession is, no matter what the country is, you're going to be an asset. You're going to have some value, because you can talk to people, you can communicate, and if you can do it in 2 different languages, just having English as a skill, a tool that I can use from time to time, and having English as another persona. You're your own you in Spanish, but you're another you in English. So you're 2 people essentially.
Exactly.
So it's probably one of the most important skills that someone can develop in their professional life.
Yeah, exactly. And also English allows us to work with teams in different geos. For example, I work with a team in Philippines, and we are able to communicate so far away only because we know
Greece,
English.
Spain, the Philippines, India. I mean, people will say, but I don't speak Filipino, I don't speak Indian. Like, how am I? Like, we all speak English.
Yeah,
we can communicate. So
exactly.
yeah.
As we see the importance of the English language at work in one's professional life, what are the programs that TaskUs offers to own these talents and skills of the people of Cali? Do we have any?
Yes, of course. It's the Art of Fluency, which is an academy that teaches them to improve their English, to improve their soft skills, communication skills, etc. We teach them how to talk to different type of people, how to handle different communication styles, and what the BPO industry is all about, what they're going to be facing, grammar, intonation, tone of voice, all of those things. We launched this program back in 2021, and it has been helping Caleños ever since.
That's awesome. So how does it work? How Caleños can enroll in the Art of Fluency?
It's very simple. The only thing they have to do is apply for a job. If they think they have what it takes, or maybe they want to give it a shot, just apply. If you do have what it takes, then fantastic, you just got yourself a job. But if you don't, then you're going to be not enrolled immediately, but you're going to be in a database that I myself manage to call you and see if you have what it takes. This program is phenomenal because it gives candidates that didn't get hired the opportunity to better themselves so they can get hired, and it doesn't cost them a dime. They don't have to pay anything out of pocket, and it's a 90-hour intensive program.
It is virtual?
It is completely virtual, and it is not only English, but also soft skills, BPO industry, all these elements are in the Art of Fluency. So at the moment of their next interview, the next time they try to get the job, they're going to be able to answer basically all the questions they get asked, because whether they have or not experience in the BPO industry, they will know what it is about, what they're gonna be facing. They're gonna be more empathetic, they're gonna be more apologetic. So even their tone of voice is gonna change in that interview.
That's awesome. How many waves that we have already?
We have had at least 19 waves so far. I'm finishing wave 14 as we speak, and it's been great. More than 150 candidates for sure.
What is the rate?
The success rate right now, I would say, is close to 80%, meaning that their English is better or at the level that is required at the moment they finish. So if these candidates didn't get the job, in most cases, it is not because of their English level, it's because of something else. Maybe they are moving out of town, or they decide not to, or they find another job.
So do we have any success stories?
Yeah, it is funny. As I walked in, I encountered, 3 or 4 of my former students. So it is great to see them still here, because some of them were with me last year, early last year, June, July, and they're still here. So I think it's great. And I have the pleasure to have Jamel is here, who was also in the Art of Fluency last year. And well, not only did she get hired, but also she's getting promoted. So, it's phenomenal.
I applied last year for the job and I didn't get it. My English was not on point at that moment. And after all the work that we did on the Art of Fluency, like preparing for the interview, soft skills, pronunciation, a lot of stuff, I got the job. And now I think I'm doing a difference here in the company. And I'm really glad and proud of my journey in here.
That's awesome, and I think the Art of Fluency is an example how to give back to the community from TaskUs. It is a commitment to the city to help improve their English, the English of the citizens of Cali, and also give you the second chance to improve your English and have the opportunity to get a job in TaskUs. Any advice, tips, or even encouragement that you can give to future participants?
If you have the opportunity to take part of the Art of Fluency, take it. It will change your point of view about English. I'm seeing English as a tool. This is a global language, not only for finding a job or gaining a job, just also to travel, to know. When you learn a new language, not only learns like
The grammar.
It opens you the doors to a different culture or different cultures, because there are several English countries, not only the US, also in Europe. I had the opportunity to travel to Europe and Asia. And was game-changing, and there is a lot of things that you can do knowing more than one language.
Not only can it help our local talents improve their English skills, but it also can give you an opportunity to join us. For anyone who might be interested, now is the perfect time. Sign up, and next thing you know, you are already here with us. Interested participants can register online via this link. Okay, I know that it's a lot to take in, and there are a lot of different opinions about how each us can reach our goals, what tools and skills we need to stay on track with our dreams, and how can anyone have a different goal in mind. But from what I can gather in our discussion here, one thing is for sure: learning the English language is one of the key factors of success, no matter where you go or where you are. And that having the right tools, programs, and of course, people around you, like your workmates and mentors, are a step toward a brighter future in your career journey. Thank you so much for being with us today. Jaime, thank you so much, Jamelis. That was a really good discussion, and I also learned a lot from everyone.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having us here. It was a pleasure.
Wait, did I say there are a lot of opinions out there? That's right. Why not leave us a message in the comment section? Let us know your thoughts or even your career goals. We might have something for you. Again, this is Janina, your host, and that's a wrap for our first episode of sTUdio. See you again, and let's have more sincere TaskUs discussion and insightful opinions.